Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, let's go. Kevin here, Top 1 Financial Advisor and best-selling author. We are here to talk about the stock market. There was some moving and some shaking today, and I call this day moving day for me because this is when I kick out a few companies in my portfolios, when I welcome some new ones into portfolio, and I do this every 6 months. For those that don't know, it's just a good, stopping point, halftime, if you will, like we talked about yesterday. Say, hey, look, this is what we know about the market. Let's make some adjustments to do even better for the second half of the year. Now, I didn't know about the whole Kevin Durant and Brooklyn Nets thing. I didn't know about UCLA and USC going to the Big Ten. I'm a sports guy. Y'all know this. But it was moving day for a lot of stuff. All right, my Twitter is going wild. I got to figure out how to wrap all these things up and make a funny video on Instagram and stuff later. You should be following me if you're not already. But I want to give you a game plan for the stock market and kind of give you a summary of what is working right now and what is not, because not everybody can see the market and say, oh, look, I should invest here based on what is going on and what we expect to go on and expect to happen for the remainder of the year. Now, if you are part of the members only, you saw me yesterday break down every single thing I was buying, why I was buying it, what I'm replacing and what I'm not replacing. So feel free to go back and view that video. If you're not a part of the members only, make sure you click the join now button at the bottom to do that, because we do exclusive videos every single week and has a greater level of detail and really relationship that you don't get it anywhere else. When you ask a question, you're in the members only, you are getting an answer via video. Everybody else may not get that. It's a lot of people, okay? So members only, make sure you're in that. But I want to give you, again, a blueprint, a lay of the land of what's going on, what you should know, and the adjustments that you do want to consider making. Because at this point, it's the worst start to the year, to any year, since 1970. It's been a long time since we have seen a situation like this. There is somewhat of a blueprint, or at least a template, or a prequel as to how this has played out last time. I think there are some things that you do want to know from that. All right, so I've got my notes and we will start. Now, I did mention again, worst start since 1970. The odd thing here, as I'm unlocking my computer, is that in the 1970s, I can't say it's the exact same thing happened, but we did have an inflation issue. We did have an issue with high oil prices, and the way we got to that was to jack up interest rates to a ridiculous level, crash the economy, go into a recession, and then that set us up for like the 90s. And now, yes, that was 20 years, but it was a slow burn. It didn't just happen overnight. So hopefully this is not the same scenario where it takes a very long time for the market and the economy to kind of get right, but we are in a similar situation. At least it feels that way, because again, worst start since 1970. Last time we were in the 1970s from an economic perspective, it was not all that great. So I've talked a little bit about that before. We can do a whole economic history if you want to, but it's not the most entertaining topic. Okay, so again, we're at a bear market territory for 2022. From January to now, we started off the year, oddly enough, at an all-time high. We started the year, believe it or not, at an all-time high. 2021 was good. We came into 2022, started off pretty well. We thought things were fine. It didn't go well, right? It did not go well. And as of right now, according to Yahoo Finance anyway, the entire year so far we're down, bear market, 19.9%. I'm gonna just call it a bear market because it basically is. It's when you're 20% or more from your most recent high, which is way back in January. Okay, so that is what is going on. However, that does not tell the entire story. Now, I said the other day, and this is still true to a degree, that the median stock, so that means you have 50% above this number, 50% below this number, the median stock in the NASDAQ, that's pretty much all the tech stocks, is down 70%. So the S&P 500, that's basically the broad economy, not just tech stocks, is down 20. Tech stocks, again, it's not an average here, but it's the median, so it's right in the middle, is down 70%. You've got Netflix down there, you've got Peloton way down there, you've got Intuit that's down 40 or 50%, whatever it is today. It's not good, okay? And we need to make some serious changes, some serious updates to your portfolio if you have not already. So I'm going to give you a few areas to pay attention to and what to have and what approaches to have as you move forward, okay? So I'll go through the areas and then kind of give you some notes and approaches. So first, this is really easy. If you turn on any heat map, energy is the place to be if you're not already. Now, I have my personal feelings about investing in oil and gas, so I personally do not do that. You do what you want to do. So if it's Exxon, Mobil, or Chevron, or Oxy, that is, I forget the full name of the company, but the ticker symbol is OXY. They're all doing well, okay? And in fact, when we look at the S&P 500, that's the largest 500 companies, there are 21 companies that are 20% or above this year, which means they made 20%, which is crazy to say, right? All but 7 of them are in energy. And it just tells you, if you just really needed to make some money, that's probably the place that you want to go. That's the easiest play right now. And notice, there aren't that many. There are only 21 companies that are up 20% or more. Now, are there some that are up 5%? Are there some that's up 15%? Yes, those are out there. We've talked about those before. Coca-Cola, IBM, from the watch list yesterday. Kind of gave you a hint already, okay? So do be sure to check those out. That was in yesterday's video. Now, the other areas that you do want to pay attention to, and there are plenty, I wouldn't say plenty, there are a few companies that are doing well in these spaces. These are those places. You have healthcare. I've been talking about this for a long time now, right? When you watch and you sign up, especially for the exclusive videos where I tell you, hey, these are the things I'm doing and these are the things I'm buying, I do be telling y'all, okay? So you've got healthcare. One of the top companies there is Eli Lilly. That's LLY. I have Danaher. Danaher is on the way back up, but also I've had Danaher for a while, so that's why I'm still in the green for a company like that. There are a few that are in the healthcare space. You have to remember, in a time like this, think logically, because what I've seen in a lot of beginner portfolios is a lot of hope, right? People who own Shopify hope that it can be the next Amazon. People who still hold on to Amazon hope that Amazon can be what it used to be before, I guess before 2021, because 2021 for Amazon wasn't good. You hope that it goes back to 2020. You hope that Amazon becomes whatever it is. You hope that Netflix becomes what it was in 2018 and 2019. It was the stock of the decade. That was a thing. It's not a thing anymore. So tech is not the space to be, with the exception of something that you know is going to be here for the long term. Speculation is not the thing anymore. I know people love SoFi. I like SoFi. This is not the time to hope that SoFi is going to be the next JP Morgan or Bank of America or what have you. Could it be? Probably. Do I like it? Yeah, I do. But am I going to continuously invest in something that in a recession is not going to help that company, right? If that is the case, am I going to continue to invest in something when at the halfway point of the year, the entire market is down close to 20%? No, because I got way more losing to do if this is going to be the trend. The only thing is there's no guarantee that it's going to be that. So healthcare is a place. I mentioned that earlier. Energy is obviously a place to consider. Utilities meaning power, water, electric. That's a spot that's often slept on. They usually pay good dividends. They almost never go out of business because, how do you do that, right? Like, just keep the lights on. So that's a really easy place. There are several that I like there. AEP is one of those. American Electric Power, one of my favorites in that space. Do pay attention to just that sector in and of itself. Again, it's a small sector, but it is one of those places that, hey, it's green, right? And it's a place to pay attention to. I talk about insurance all the time. Make sure you're paying attention to that in a season like this. Then you got the consumer staples. I'm a fan of Costco. Costco is not doing the absolute best. What I would prefer it to do, like Dollar General and Dollar Tree are both green this year. I may or may not own many or all of those, okay? Again, check out the exclusive video about what I did buy, what I sold, and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you can check that one out. But I like Costco. I actually bought Coca-Cola for my daughter. She did not own it. She owns it now, though. And that is one of the companies that's in the green that pays a good dividend. So those are places that you want to be and consider. Healthcare, utilities, insurance, consumer staples, things that people have to have, and then energy. Those are the 5 areas. Unless you truly believe in Apple and Microsoft and Google, which I do, then continue loading up on those. Dollar cost averaging still works for stuff like that, but do not expect to be profitable this year. And I think that is the number one thing for new investors and really anybody. Do not expect to be profitable this year, because what a lot of people do is say, look, I'm down 20%, I'm down 25%, everything's terrible, I'm going to sell this and find something else to do. In reality, when the entire market is down 20% and you're only down 25%, that might not be you. You might own something that's actually pretty good. The market hasn't realized it yet, and you may want to just hold on to it. There are a lot of companies in my portfolio that were down that said, look, I'm just going to hold on because I'm gonna wait until the market fixes whatever it needs to fix, but I'm going to hold on to what I think is still a quality company. Everything that is down is not terrible. Everything that is down is not trash. But if you're down 70% or more, you do want to have a come to Jesus moment and decide what it is you need to do and what that problem is. So I would, if you don't have anything in any of those spaces I mentioned, I would seriously consider that. I would seriously consider that. Like, I don't think any portfolio out there should be missing any of these. So that's a minimum of 1, 2. So healthcare, utilities, insurance, consumer staples, that's 4, and maybe energy, depending on what energy company you want to have and how you feel about it. That's at least 5 stocks in each of those, or I'm sorry, that's at least 1 stock in each of those 5 categories that you should own and can really make the difference between losing a whole lot of money and cutting those losses, and perhaps in some cases even end up green. And in fact, now I'll bring this up, my Roth IRA is green this year, which again, like I said, I don't really check my my long-term retirement accounts until it's time to do moving day. I found out today that, hey, I was in the right spots, right? So it can work. This process does work, but you do need to put yourself in the right spaces, and you do need to be patient. You must be patient, but it will be easier. It is easier to stomach a lot of what's going on in the market if you are in those 5 spaces this year. Make those adjustments if you have not already. The companies that you choose can be completely different. There are a lot of companies in that consumer staples space, and I'll name 3 or 4 right now. Some that I like more than others, some I don't like at all, but I'll just name some. So you got Target, Walmart, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Coca-Cola. Now, do you want all 5 of those? That's up to you, but it is something that you do want to pay attention to. So again, those areas, one last time: healthcare, utilities, insurance, consumer staples, and perhaps energy, depending on how you feel about that. Those are the 5 areas you have to have, and these are areas that we don't really expect to fade or fall off, because you have to have lights, you have to have your medicine, your medication, all that kind of stuff. You still, I know driving is terrible with the way that gas prices are. I pay my Geico bill the other day. It still needs to be paid. If I'm buying water or soda, or if I'm going grocery shopping, all those things have to happen. And these are things, recession or not, inflation or not, are still going to be strong, and you might even find out that you may want to hold these for several years. Danaher, again, DHR is the one that I personally have. I've had it for years, and it's probably not going anywhere, right? So it's one of the things, one of the ways that you can look at this. So adjust your expectations. Don't expect to be profitable this year, and that's okay. You can still set yourself up for the future, which is why I didn't just sell everything, but those are the things you do want to pay attention to. All right, let me know what you think in the comments. Also, make sure that you sign up for our members only group. Again, I go over everything I'm doing, and I usually give that out in advance to our members only. We're going to do a few breakdowns, company breakdowns. I know people want to hear my thoughts on Palantir, my thoughts on Disney. We did a breakdown for AbbVie, which is one of the really good companies this year in the healthcare space that is green. Okay, so I did that entire breakdown for our members only. So make sure that you check all of that out, and I will see you in the comments. Let me know what you think about college football, the market, or the basketball thing in the NBA right now. All right, that's it for me. I'll talk to you later. Bye.